Hi everyone in English 1301, it's Dr. E and I just want to provide you some instructions for what we have going on in week 6. It's another busy week for us, so make sure that you're setting aside enough time to complete the different tasks, including the readings, which we have just an additional reading than we are usually used to. So we have 3 readings due this week, so just these things to keep in mind, especially if you're kind of keeping a calendar and keeping track of your time. It's going to be helpful this week. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is pull up our syllabus, and I want you to note that I have made some updates to the syllabus just because last week was a little hectic. There was a lot of confusion surrounding the reading journal. If you haven't already, it's a really good idea to read the clarification document and the video that was posted about that if you're still facing some confusion or frustration with that assignment. I do want you to note that originally the paper portfolio assignment and rubric, the video and the rubric were going to be posted. I was going to go over that this week, but because of, just the kind of stress that we dealt with last week and everything that's going on this week, I'm just going to delay that for now, so no need to watch that. Like I mentioned, it's an updated syllabus schedule, so that has been posted in the content overview area of D2L, but I've also placed it in our weekly module area, so just keep an eye out for that. Note that the prompts for both the writing discussion post and the paper topic discussion post are going to be available in the weekly module area, and then we also additionally will have an annotation exercise that's going to be related to the article by Choi, and that's going to be due on Sunday. Okay, so you'll note that for this week we have annotating, summarize, responding. That's in our course text, and that's pages 79 through 97. If you're using the electronic version of the course text, just look for the title of this chapter. Same goes for annotating a bibliography. This is just a general chapter kind of going through what it means to annotate, to summarize, to think about texts in particular ways. And then the annotating a bibliography is more about the more formal kind of assignment that you'll see related to research papers. It just gives us some information that may be helpful, especially because in a couple of weeks we do have our annotated bibliography assignment due. Remember that that was a video that was posted last week with the instruction guidelines. It's an assignment separate from our discussion post, separate from our reading journal. So if you haven't already looked at that, it's going to be useful to do that now or to revisit it, right? To revisit that. It'll make more sense if you were a little thrown by that information last week. It'll make more sense once you've read these chapters. And then finally, we have a brief article written by Amy Choi, and that's posted in the content area of D2L, and it's called What Americans Can Learn from Other Food Cultures. So you'll see that we have our writing discussion post due on Wednesday, and that's based on both of those course texts. The readings from the course text, right? And then we have a paper topic discussion post, and that's going to be based on Choi's article. You are going to be required to respond to 2 people in the paper topic discussion, so I would definitely recommend that you get a start on that and don't wait until Saturday when everything is due. Again, it's kind of a busy week, so just start to plan for that. On Sunday, you do have an annotation exercise due, and I've posted a template. So the assignment requirements are very much related to what the expectations are for the annotated bibliography guidelines and expectations. So again, review that. It'll help probably makes more sense. You have some readings that are going to be due next week. I'm going to pull up the content overview area. So remember, when you click content, right, you want to make sure that if you're looking for documents or anything that I've posted as a resource, you want to click the overview section. Okay, the updated syllabus is posted there. All of the different rubrics and guidelines, the assignment clarification handout that I posted an announcement about last week, as well as that video. And then of course we have Choi's text, which is posted here. So this is something that I update pretty much every week with different information. So make sure that that's kind of on your radar and visit that when necessary. Okay, I'm going to go to week 6. So yes, you have a participation quiz based on this video, so make sure that you're going and taking care of that. That is an assignment that's automatically graded. I've already entered the answers, so once you've completed it, you should be able to see your grade in the grades area of D2L. So if you have concerns about whether or not you submitted it or what grade you got, you can always look at the grades area in D2L to see that information. I've also posted a link for the syllabus that's been updated. And then, of course, the reading, which is Amy Choi's article, which is really interesting. There's also the annotation exercise template. And so this is what you'll use to complete that annotation exercise that's due on Sunday. Okay, sorry, I had to edit the video for just a second. So again, the annotation exercise is due on Sunday, but there is that template that's posted. And if you take a look at it, it just goes through the document, which is set up in MLA format, right? So you double click here, enter your last name. So just delete that, enter your last name. Double click outside to then go to this area to fill out according to, your information. I've already put the title here, so you don't need to worry about that. The first thing that always is going to come in an annotation is going to be your citation, right? The citation is essentially what's included in a works cited page and provides the details for the author and the title of the publication, all of that information. I want you to note, and this is going to be one definite benefit of making sure that you watch the videos, I've included the citation in this week's module. So you don't have to do the work of, okay, finding the publication date, all of the information for the electronic source that's choice. I've included it, okay? You can go to that document that's included in the module, copy and paste that information into this template, okay? I'm not going to pull up the citation that I created for Choi's work. You can go and find it. Again, a benefit of making sure you watch the videos, but it is there, okay? In future work, those are things you need to complete on your own for academic writing, but it's just, why not? It gives you an idea of what to do and where to place it, right? So your summary paragraph is going to start here. Always refer to people by their last names. We don't know these folks, right? So with respect, we always use last names. So you'll say Choi this, her ideas that kind of thing. And you're not a part of this paragraph. This is just the main ideas that Choi presents in her work, okay? So the bulk of this paragraph, the bulk of your annotation here is going to be this paragraph specifically, because you're working to summarize the ideas that she shares. Again, think about this as an episode of a television show. Your friend hasn't watched the most recent episode of whatever show that y'all watch. So when they ask, hey, what happened last night on whatever show, you're not going to go into excessive detail, right? If they want that excessive detail, they can go and stream the show themselves, right? This is where you just kind of hit the points, like this happened, then this happened, then this happened. When it comes to annotating an assignment, it's summarizing. It's you saying, this is the author's idea, then this, then this, then this, right? So that's the work you do in that first paragraph. The second paragraph, for the purposes of the work that we're going to be doing this semester for the annotated bibliographies and the exercises, I want you to just this is where you come in. How do you relate to the author's ideas? What are some things that you learned? This only needs to be about 2 to 3 sentences. Again, the bulk of that 200 to 300 word requirement is going to be right here, okay? And then you must include a word count. So you'll just delete this, right? You'll delete this like I'm doing here. You'll highlight just those 2 paragraphs. And then if you go down to the bottom of Microsoft Word, you'll see a word count right here. And if you click it, it'll open up if you need a closer look, right? So words. So this is where you would put 95. Now, y'all, please note, you have to have between 200 to 300 words here, okay? So I've put these notes here to remind you of that. So make sure that you're considering, most of what you need to write is here. Some of you may struggle to complete this in 200 to 300 words. And that's normal, right? Our tendency is to provide way more information than to provide less. Just stop yourself. The max should be 350 words. I'm not going to read beyond that. Part of the struggle is to make sure that we are doing this work in the the link that's required and provided. So some of us are going to need to limit that. Some of us may need to expand that. So this is why we do the exercises in practice. Okay. All right. So that's the template. And again, that's what you'll be submitting in the assignment area of D2L. Okay. So if you go to assignments, like this is where you submitted your reading journal, annotation exercises there, and that's due on Sunday. Okay, so review the syllabus schedule if you have questions. Okay, so I've also included that choice citation there. Copy and paste, copy and paste. This is a link to that annotation exercise, right? So just the same thing I pulled up by going to the assignments area of D2L. The link is here in the weekly module with some information to offer as a reminder. Your writing discussion post is due on Wednesday, and it's really pushing us to do some of this work of thinking about the annotated bibliography and really working to dig into those 2 chapters, because the chapters are going to be really, really helpful. Okay, so make sure you're doing that. This is going to be 3 paragraphs overall, and your response is due by 11:59 p.m. on Wednesday. Okay, and then your paper topic discussion post is more related to Choi's article. All right, so I want you to summarize her ideas. So we're doing some of the work that's required in the annotation exercise I'm asking you to do here. Okay, and I put some reminders here. Always refer to people by their last name. We don't refer to William Shakespeare in our writing as William. We refer to them respectfully by their last name, and it's also an easy way for us to find their last names in works cited pages for research papers. So it's just kind of, you're doing double duty there, but always use last names. In the second paragraph, focus on one of the sections. You'll notice in her article it's broken down into some different sections. Food as comfort, food as survival, food as community. Pick one of those. Why did you choose that? How do you relate to it? Asking some, this is where you come in, right? You're not up in this section, you're in this paragraph. And then in a third paragraph, I want to really extend the idea of food. So pick your favorite food or meal. Why is it your favorite? What's important about it? Is it the flavors? Is it who makes the food? Does it remind you of home? Food is very meaningful to us in so many ways, and we learn that not only from our own experiences, but definitely because of Choi's ideas, right? Food means so many things to us. So pick your favorite food and start to think about, like, what does this mean? Why do I love this food? Is it, you know, a strong memory? Is it, you know, just because it means family and connection, or it was, you know, that meal that I had after, you know, graduating high school and it was important, whatever, right? So really think about how this relates to you, this food, but also connect it to one of those areas that Choi discusses in her subtopics. Lastly, you need to create 2 thoughtful and thought-provoking questions. One of those needs to relate to Choi's article. Okay, so specifically her article, whether it's about the way she wrote it or the content, right, what she writes about. And then, so it's either about the content or the way she writes. But then the second question is just something to push each other to think about food. Anything, right? It doesn't have to be related to this post. It can be, you know, what you think about your favorite meal or food. But just, we want to expand the conversation about what food means to us. You can go back to thinking about Ron Finley's video and what it means to grow your own food, or you can think about, you know, what it means for you to make your own food and asking other people about their input. 2 thoughtful, thought-provoking questions. So your initial response is due by 11:59 p.m. on Friday, but then you need to respond to at least 2 colleagues at latest on Saturday. You need to respond to both questions, right? They have created 2 thoughtful, thought-provoking questions. You need to respond to both, okay? So that in a nutshell is what's going on for week 6. It's a heavy week. We have quite a few things that are due and what's going on and things that are going on, but it's all gonna come together and make sense as we start to move into some of the other assignments, okay? So don't forget that participation quiz, both of your discussion posts, your annotation exercise. And don't forget, if you haven't submitted your reading journal assignment, to submit that no later than this Sunday. I would recommend that you submit ahead of that. Please look at those videos and the materials I posted to help if you're still finding some confusion. Hit me up during office hours too. All right. I'll talk to you later. I'll see you later. Good luck. Y'all are doing great. Just hang in there. I promise it's all going to come together.